could have picked up that ball too. Dude, he came out here yesterday, never looks at me. He always fucking got his head down. Because that one day, he told him we have permission to hit him. By who? And he's the one who got the cops.
Does come off that.
Yeah, but I think the wind direction might have a lot to do with.
Yeah. So I mean, the ball comes off that one better than it does the 27.
Yeah.
Well, it goes farther off that one than it does off the 27.
And that's newer.
Yeah.
Just 2 days. No mass to collapse the barrel.
Everything feels good, but it just... Hold on. He's just strong. He must have been to the truck stop. Sounded better. That sounded much better. Do you hear the sound now?
Wow, that's that one.
That one.
I mean, that sounds completely different. That one over. See, that's a different sound. That's that we don't have 800 swings on that, do we?
Yeah, but it's not forgiving. He'll miss a ball with the Mach 1. He'll miss it and still hit a bomb.
Yeah, but sound.
Well, because there's no mass in there to pick up on it.
But when you miss, yeah.
Yeah, when you miss it, if you have that mass, the bat carries you a little bit. You didn't miss What's that one? That's near the parking lot, Nick.
Oh, you suck.
That one's not.
That's a completely different sound.
And look,
That went out, right?
Yeah.
it barely went out.
I hit that back.
Yeah,
there.
but that was a
The wind's
terrible.
blowing out too.
But that was a terrible swing. That bat's changed. That's the first one, right? The 26.
Yeah. That's the 26.
Yeah, that bat's changed.
I didn't know if you could see it.
Let that one go.
See, that was.
It's something with this fiber that took a while to break. Oh, that was the hands.
He's not getting that extra gear, man.
I tell you what, though, those last
Oh,
three.
it got better, yes.
Yeah, those last three went out. So I mean, it's. If it had less handle and more head, that bat would be a friggin' monster, man.
No.
Hit that one up here.
Yeah.
Bad pitch.
That was a low golf pitch. It still went 30, 40 foot over. That's it, dude. Right at the lady with the carrot. That wasn't far from her. I mean, from the distance.
See? I don't know if you can see them, but you see those. But look here. See inside the paint now? You see them all inside the striations, all inside the paint now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Those weren't there.
It's got the little stress lines in it.
It's all over the place. It wasn't there. Because I compared these. That bat's behaving differently.
Completely different. Well, see, that's the one that we didn't like was the 27 because it had no. I mean, it was complete.
That's the 26, right?
The handle, yeah, the handle was like 10 something.
Yeah. But when it's blowing out, you got to look at it too. How's it going to do? Because of the load, how's it going to do? Here's, like I talked
With the wind blowing in.
With the wind blowing in, with the load, what is it going to do?
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about the distance. I'm talking about it
Sound.
off the bat. I mean, like you went down and got that low pitch and did that line drive. That was a wind age there. That was.
I saw a bunch of those this round.
Sounds different.
Yeah.
Different bat. You can really sit here with your swing. Right on there. But see, now that sound right there, no weight.
You're right.
Yeah.
It really, you can really,
It
it's not forgiving. In other words,
Yeah, it really shows you that there's no weight in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I smacked that.
Yeah. When you square it up like that, the ball jumps, man.
That about one hopped it.
Oh yeah, that's 315.
Yeah. It's a totally different sound.
Yep. It's a completely different bat.
Like it changed a lot. Not just a little bit. I only have one eye. I don't see all that shit.
What do you think of that ASA bat?
It needs some cut.
Needs to break in. And I think that they make the ASA. I think they make the ASA product a little bit harder to meet their regulations.
A lot of those would have gone out in those cycles.
See, it's still not forgetting.
I want to see what they do.
Yeah, I like to see how all the
It's not bad.
blind drive.
I hit the ball hard.
It's a lot better than when it started.
Yeah.
But it's still not any
Yeah.
of the other bats.
Yeah.
We'll have to tell me what it's going to say.
Yeah, that's. We got guys that get up there swing the same way, it don't matter. Hit one home run. It's a lot of times it's thrown out. It's not to get that one home run.
That should go out. It's not forgiving. It's a good bat. Don't get me wrong.
It's just not.
It's not a bad bat. All right, guys, we just finished up on the review. 2021 Anarchy 50 cal. This is it right here, the 26 ounce. What I decided to do was do a review on the 25, 26, and 27 because they're weighted different. And I think when we did the 27, that was a disservice to the 26 and the 25 because they're just totally weighted. They're weighted good, better for performance. Still weighted a little light, but they're still weighted for performance. What happened with the 27 was they put too much weight in the hands, which made the bat not perform in situations like when the wind's blowing in, because you got to have big mass. It's got to swing like a sledge when you hit the ball to carry through the wind. A lot of you guys that do a lot of BP, you'll know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about that. You need that mass. You need that small handle weight, big mass to carry through the wind. Same thing with hitting bad balls. You need that mass on the end, that small handle weight. And what happened with the 27, it just didn't have that. So this is another review. I'm going to talk about this bat. We got better performance, and let me add something in there too. When you have big handle weight and you don't have a lot of mass on the end, it takes longer to break the bat in. That's how come on the 27 it took so many swings where we started seeing a little bit difference. That's how come a lot of you guys are saying it takes a long time to break these bats in, or it takes a long time to break the Anarchy bats and the U-Trip bats in. Somebody told me 800 swings. As a senior, if you're taking 800 swings to break a bat in, that's just way too much. The reason it's taking so long, I'm going to get into the bat. The reason it's taking so long to break that bat in is because you have no mass. It's not compressing the wall, so you're not getting that. You're not getting that what they call the spidering. You know, you're not getting the stress fractures in the barrel because you have no mass here. You have a lot of mass here. So it's that when it makes contact with the ball, there's nothing behind it to compress that wall. So that being said about the 27, this bat, the 26, acted totally different. For one, it has less handle weight on this bat. So when I looked at it and weighted, I kind of knew this bat was going to perform a little bit better. And as you can see in the video, it did. It took probably around 300 swings to get it where it actually started changing sounds to make a different sound. And when it started changing that sound, it got hotter. It got hotter. We started hitting home runs, but again, the wind's blowing out now on this day. Not a lot, but it's kind of changing directions and blowing out. So we did hit a few home runs with this bat, yes. But it's still weighted with a light end load. You know, what, a 16.3 on the 26 ounce, and you have a 9.3 on the hand. But guys, the bat performed good. The way it gets to the infield, and a lot of you guys, I've seen this in a message out there where when we talk about getting it through the infield, but if you hit as many bats as we have, that really, you've got to have that mass to carry further than the infield. That's how come I say in a lot of my reviews, when the ball gets out there, it jumps off the bat, but when it gets out there, it dies, almost like it's got a parachute on it. That's the way the bat's loaded. Or when you hit a ball and it gets that extra gear, that's the way the bat's loaded. But what happens when you're making about it, there is and I've always said this 12 years ago, it's a formula. There's a formula how to make bats. A lot of people don't know that formula. that it comes. It has a lot to do with transfer, weight transfer. It's got a lot to do with the handle flex, how much weight you have here, how much dense mass. I'm not talking about that mass. I'm talking about dense mass on the end. The way the barrel flexes on you, the way the handle flexes on you. Is it flex too much because it's a two-piece? I mean, the one thing I would say, this bat is hard. The barrel is hard on this bat. Almost like if you guys swung the H1, that's what I'm comparing it to, the barrel. It's got a hard barrel on it. It kind of breaks up a little bit. It actually will get these little striations in it, like a lot of bats out there do, when you know it's starting to break in. The one thing we found out on that 26 that we got a little bit of a seam on it. We actually thought it was a crack at first, but it's a seam separation and it's jagged, almost like a shark tooth, but it's too defined for it to be a shark tooth. It almost looks like when they cut the fiber, when they cut the carbon, right? When they did it, they actually used those scissors, I call them seamstress scissors. Like they got the jagged, and they're all jagged. Where when you cut the fabric, it'll actually have that little jagged in it. Kind of goes crisscross, goes back and forth. The seam looked like that, going straight, and it was going in a straight line down this way. It wasn't coming across like a shark tooth. It was coming down. Once that started, that was the first thing that started. Once that started, it changed sounds a little bit, and then you started seeing the striations in the bat, the barrel. Then it opened up, guys. This bat is not a bad bat. It didn't make my top 10, but it's still not a bad bat. It's a lot better than the 20. So a lot of you guys that swing heavier bats, it's kind of a shame, because then you got to drop down and swing a 26 to get to the performance in these bats, and it's just not. And plus, I want to talk about the end weight. On a 26 ounce and a 27 ounce, the end weights are pretty close to being the same. 25 ounce, your end weight's close to being the same. That's just not the way you're supposed to load bats. And then all they did was change the handle weight to try to get that whip on the lower ounce bats. You need to get that whip on the higher ounce bats. I think, like Bubba said and Billy said, if you added another half ounce in this end, this would be a monster. But what they did with Anarchy is they just didn't load it right. So I can't, and a lot of you guys pick this bat up and you'll swing it and you'll say nothing wrong with it. But when you have a 16.3, that's on the end right here, and then you have on this one was a 9.3, you just don't have that much mass to get the performance that this bat deserves, because I think this bat is built really good. And talking about the carbon, the flex in the handle, it's got a good flex in the handle, but I just don't think it's loaded right. I just don't think it has that mass on the end to actually carry through the wind, to actually get any kind of distance on it. But the bat did perform, but it did not make my top 10. Next is the 25 ounce. Thanks, guys.